The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. Can't wait to watch this today. Am I right? Am I right?
I hope you're just as gentle with a real child someday.
Why would you say that? First things first, Reject Nation. Make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can get notified when our next Mando reaction is up. Secondly, full-length reaction watch-alongs where you sync up with the time code for Mandalorian are over at our Patreon page. This qualifies as reaction highlights. And over at our Patreon, we cover so many shows. We're at the same tier. We have the option for reaction highlights and watch-alongs included. Some of those shows are Supernatural, Doctor Who, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Attack on Titan, My Hero Academia. Recently started up Avatar: The Last Airbender, Demon Slayer, and a whole bunch of other television shows. Lastly, gotta thank Eric over at Nerd Chronic for editing this video for us. Mandalorian can often present itself with some issues of getting public on YouTube, and he's really great at working around whatever best options we got to get us up in a timely manner. So thank you for all the hard work you do, buddy. Give him a follow today. To me, he's an extension of the real Rejects. Let's watch this. Very cool.
Very cool.
Whoa. Oh no!
Oh, dang.
Wow, you avoided a lot of damage there, didn't you, Arna?
Oh.
Get the child!
His name is Baby Yoda.
Nice. Don't you
Wait.
drop the knife and run off.
You literally really let him take it.
He's gonna shoot that guy. Even better.
Oh.
He's being a dick.
He's got a little more hair, right? Like he's got a little bit more hair on his head.
Little peach fuzz there.
Yeah.
Little Baby Yoda peach fuzz. No.
No, why?
He's gonna try and eat him.
I think he can sense the life in them.
I hope you're right.
Or maybe you're right.
We will see. Place your bets in the comments below.
He's got a real Spielberg vibe going on with him right now.
No.
Oh no! The music threw me for a loop.
Yeah,
it was just such a sense of wonder.
Hey, you almost talked me out of it. It's like, no, yeah, I want to believe you just...
Razorcrest, M111. Come in, Razorcrest. Copy. I need you to send us a ping.
I know this voice.
Well, I'm not sure I have that hard.
Could be Filoni's. I assume every mysterious cameo is Dave Filoni.
Oh, no.
Yes, Filoni!
Yeah.
I got very lucky on that one.
Yeah. Hey, I was over here being like, is this Brad Pitt and Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Oh yeah. Get those aerial crash zoom in pans. Ooh, Jesus.
Man, this is shot so well.
Don't make us do it.
I can't wait to play this ride at Disneyland. Did you turn your beacon off? Oh no! Oh golly! Oh no.
Oh, buddy.
Those eggs should be in the cockpit.
No! Told you not to do that.
Maybe you shouldn't keep the eggs there.
Yeah.
With Baby Yoda.
Maybe you shouldn't keep them just like stray in a hallway.
Aww. This theme is about parenting.
Wake up, Mandalorian.
Oh.
Until morning.
Oh, clever.
I thought honoring one's word was a part of the Mandalorian code. I guess those are just stories for children.
Damn.
Oh, that says bitch.
Where are you going? Come back here.
I said, hey, 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 hey.
I said, hey, what's going on? Up, up.
John, hand me my baby Yoda. Oh. Quickly, before you miss the whole show.
Oh God, what did I miss? The child?
How's he holding? I'll mirror this exactly.
Yeah. This is a shadow cast right now, and you're playing Mando.
You can't leave the ship. It's not safe out here.
I'm literally taking a bath, my dude.
I think she's trying to seduce him. Oh my goodness, so many eggs.
I know it's
Oh, she's just bathing her eggs. I thought she produced new eggs.
Yeah.
What? You can't just eat everything.
God, it's like a spider pumpkin.
Yeah, here we go.
Oh no.
Nah, it's just gonna be a buffet for him. Get out of the bathtub.
Oh, what a dreadful POV that was, too.
Shiloh. Oh.
Go! Go! Back to the ship!
What a nightmare.
Go faster.
Let's go faster. Let's go faster. Through the ice. Oh, Jesus, no. No.
Whoa.
Eat one.
Dude, protect her. Protect her. Oh my god, she's got it covered.
Yeah.
Good shot.
Oh. Yeah, you watched that.
This really is like a sci-fi horror movie right now.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh God. Oh no. Oh.
Oh my god, there's
Jesus,
everywhere.
No. Ugh. Ugh. Eat them all. No! Unhand the child!
Light laser shots.
Aww.
Oh! No! Oh my
I am very
god!
upset right now. Egg.
It's like a Lovecraftian monster. My god, who is that?
Are they the X-Wings back?
Yeah, it is.
We ran the tabs on the Razor Crest.
Am I under arrest?
Technically, you should be. But these are trying times.
Yeah, they are.
Filoni's like, I'm gonna be a badass this season, all right?
Yeah,
Sick
right.
of these little cameos.
Damn, we forgot to lift the giant spider off. Aw, Mando. Oh, golly.
So is he like safe now?
That's the sense I got, was it was one of those like, we're just not gonna report this to anybody. We'll at least help you to not die, and we'll call it even.
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah, we'll just not. It's probably that the warrant still exists, but they're not gonna say anything. In true old West fashion. was like, yeah, I could help you, but you know.
It really did have like a throwback sci-fi noir,
Yeah.
stranded alien-esque vibe to it. It's real
Especially, and in the way too, it starts very much in one place and kind of morphs into something else entirely.
Yeah. It's a terrible episode.
Yeah, man, didn't get many reactions out of me. Didn't think very much of it.
That was great. I think we're safe to cut it now.
I think we're safe to cut it now.
Well, that was a cool episode. I really like the tone of it. I kind of like the meditative pace of it all. It's not that slow. It's not that deliberate. I do think, though, in comparison to episodes that have come before this one, its pacing is a lot more deliberate, comparatively speaking. But it's not like Better Call Saul or something like that, you know?
I think too, though, it's also got the expanded runtime because I feel like the first season there were a couple episodes that breached that 40 or even an hour mark, but a lot of them were like a half hour, whereas, you know, we started off with an hour last week and then, you know, a solid 40, like a normal length of a show, and I feel like part of that is to kind of help with that sort of you're just right there in his shoes kind of pacing.
Yeah, and it's a very... For a Star Wars show, it surprisingly feels rather contained in a certain extent. It picks up immediately after the first episode, so the hunt for the child is being reestablished again, and that was a really fun sequence. I like going to the cantina, Pelimato, and then the Ant-Man character.
Yeah, guys.
I don't know what creature that is. I'm sure it's a Star Wars creature. I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe from the books or something, but I'm not familiar with that one. But either way, I think if you know who's directing this episode, one's mind will probably go there, and like ours did. You know, this a simple plot of having to transport this person. It's setting us up for a segue into episode 3, where hopefully we see more Mandalorians. I mean, that's what we've been building up to since the beginning of this particular season. I like whatever that ice planet is. The sequence there does feel kind of reminiscent of the mood and tone of Alien. I mean, you called it right away with the eggs. I mean, they're smaller than the face huggers in the Alien movie, but the way it was all unfolding was like, it's like the Alien movies.
Yeah. These will get big eventually.
Yeah.
There's a big one.
And they're all gonna hatch, and it does have that vibe. And there were parts of that ice planet that did remind me a little bit of the sequences in Empire Strikes Back, not just because it's an ice planet like Hoth, but, you know, like thinking about when Luke is stranded, when Luke is captured, and there are like these cave-like environments. Those things were bringing me back to Empire Strikes Back. The thing that I loved most about Peyton Reed's direction here was the handling of perspective. That created the most amount of tension, I thought, for me, especially really throwing you into Mando's shoes. Like when he's behind the wheel of the Razor Crest, the X-Wing pilots show up, the space cops are there, and the way how you don't cut to Dave Filoni, and forgive me for not knowing the other actor's name, but you don't cut to those pilots until after Mando takes off. So you're watching it solely from his perspective, having to lie his way through here. I thought it was interesting too when he said, "May the Force be with you." He had this kind of uncomfortable cadence in his tone about it.
Yeah.
Like him saying that is obviously not a natural thing, and it had me thinking, because the way how season 1 ended, it seemed like he didn't really have much familiarity with what the Force is. It could be the most tiny detail I'm reading into of his delivery. Thinking about like A New Hope and the way how the New Republic, that's just a thing they say, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of peace be with you, or, you know, like take care.
Yeah,
safe
yeah,
travels.
yeah.
It's may the Force be with you.
It definitely felt like one of those things that he's aware of, but he's not used enough to lying about.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking that it might be a little bit of an additional world building in the tiniest bit of ways. It's a saying that everyone knows, but not everyone is really all that familiar with the Force itself. And so I feel like it might be reading into. I don't know. I'm probably just really reading into an actor's delivery here. The space hunt sequence leading into the planet was shot beautifully. Where I'm a little bit torn. As much as I like anything with horror edition, I really love automatically. I'm just a sucker for that. And again, with perspective, like when you're following them back into the cockpit of the Razor's Crest, the blaster coming, you're not cutting to outside till Mando's outside. And then when he comes back through the ship and it's covered in spider webs and all these things, it was really well shot, and the production design was great. And I love its attention to detail and practical effects.
And CG for that.
And the CGI was awesome too. The monsters were pretty scary. I guess like the one thing that's kind of not making this this a 10 out of 10 for me. The anxiousness side in me of it's only 8 episodes. You know,
Yeah.
the first episode I really did love. It was very exciting to me. I'm getting that anxiety feeling of come on, let's get to all the stuff we've been told or like hyped up about, or all the cliffhanger stuff we've been wanting, you know. And I remember with the first season, in the first few episodes, there was a debate kind of happening with some fans. Like, people were generally loving it, but there was that debate happening of, are these just one-offs? Is this really going somewhere where this is all going to coalesce and tie together? Even with having a bit of that feeling for this particular episode of, come on, let's get going. I still have complete faith that this episode will somehow leap into the bigger picture of the story being told in season 2.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, I'm kind of in the opposite position where I'm actually quite thrilled that they haven't just like rocketed forward into like some big wide expansive like, okay, we gotta get all this stuff we've been hyping you up for. Like, I loved that this episode didn't have any Boba Fett in it. Like, it was cool. We'll tease that, we'll bring it back later. What struck me during this episode, what I realized, and it's just like a simple summation of how the show tends to operate, is every next step of the serial story kind of has to come with an episodic bounty scenario or safe passage scenario or some kind of side quest, because, you know, he can't just hop around necessarily at will the way they do in the movies and stuff like that. So, you know, just having that sort of like, okay, well, the next cluster of Mandalorians I need to get to is on the other side of this journey.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I don't know. I can understand why you would be a bit nervous because, yeah, now thinking of it, I'm like, we are a quarter of the way into the season now.
I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I'm just anxious. That's it. That's the only thing that it's playing on. Like, that anxiousness has actually nothing to do with the criticism of the episode executed before me. It's really just me being like, ugh. I want to do it.
Part of it for me too is I get so lost in the charm of the fact that the show does feel very. It's funny. I think you're right in describing this episode as feeling contained. But what I love that the Mandalorian, as opposed to especially like the recent film run, has been able to do is they're able to make things feel contained and grounded, but still very big and very awe-inspiring.
Yeah.
Because like the whole thing on that ice planet is like, yeah, this is like very restricted in a lot of ways, and you're just in ice tunnels and ice caves. But at the same time, we're seeing a new creature, and the tension with which, like, props to Peyton Reed, because I found myself just getting wrapped up in the tension and how gross certain things were.
Didn't feel like the director of Ant-Man.
Did not feel like I didn't expect to be so like, oh my god. During this.
It was tense. Believe it or not, I mean, other than that, I feel like that statement I was making earlier could be wildly misconstrued.
Why do you hate the show?
I know, because I actually completely agree with you. I love that they have this much attention to detail in terms of they're taking advantage of the fact that it's a series. They're bound to be hunted down. This adds more to that they're bound to crash at some point, and it has to go through ship repairs. This is a likely scenario. He has to still make money. He has to get his information. He has to trade missions and deals and everything in order to keep going. It makes it feel more lived in. So I actually really do love it. I'm wondering how this particular episode will tie into the bigger picture. And I even like the chat with the X-Wing pilots, how, you know, I think the bounties they were talking about were the ones linked with the one where Zero appeared, with like the one with Bill Burr and all that. I think those were the bounties they were referring to. Episode 6, I believe, is what it was. Tying all this back into it and helping to flesh it all out. I even like Frog Lady.
And
I don't know what her creature is, but, you know, if you guys know what her creature is, let me know. Frog Lady creature. Oh, I can't find the answer.
It's unknown. Mystery is still to come in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Maybe she's a secret relative of young Yoda.
I liked how you can get even though the only time you know what she's really saying is either through translation of Moto or through the
droid.
The Zero droid. You have this character of Din Djarin, whose face you can't see, who we're very emotionally invested in too. Then you got this Frog Lady character who most of the time we don't understand, yet we're very invested in her too. So the danger of the stakes that were coming in with the spiders was my concern for her. And I found like I'm really nervous for what's going to happen to her, and that's where all the fear came from. Because with Mando and Baby Yoda, I was like, nah, I know nothing's going to happen to them. It's still intense, but I know nothing's really going to happen to them. But for her, I was worried about. Baby Yoda, I don't really know what they're... it's like I was like, I'm not finding this whole eating the eggs thing all that adorable.
No,
with the way they have this button of like, I got another one, and there's something about that. Like That's a little thing, and it's not quite clicking with me because I'm like, the whole point is to deliver these freaking eggs.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I wonder what the bigger picture of that is, but it is one of those kind of like, I think partly probably they're like, well, he can't just be adorable and helpful at all times. And B, I wonder if this will, come up later in other things he might want to try and eat that he shouldn't eat. But as one of many things to worry about in this episode, they didn't have to do that, but I wasn't upset that they did, and I think maybe also they were like, and this will give us a direct device to help them wake up or whatever.
You okay?
I'm just so choked up by how beautiful the end is. But yeah, too, like, this really reminded me heavily of all the Western stuff. What misses me from the movies is, like, it's usually we get to the destination and then something goes wrong, whereas this feels like on our way to the destination, a bunch of unexpected things are going to happen, and there are going to be things like we can't quite communicate, or maybe random kind of space cops who are sort of neutral in our situation are going to show up, and those things, I think, too, can be sort of viewed as pedestrian in a way, but to me, they're part of the tangibility and the Western charm of the show. Yeah.
And I loved how kind of grouchy Mando was in this
episode.
I know. He's like grumpy. From like beginning to end. Well, it's like, I'm so annoyed by everything. And like, I don't want to fix the ship. We're going to stay here.
The deal. Nobody held up to the deal. Nobody presented this with honesty to me.
He seems so stressed.
And he's having to learn how to parent.
All right, guys. Well, Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2. What'd you guys think of the passenger episode? Leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe. Click that notification bell. Last but not least, let's do a Jason Dolan. I'm gonna shout out your homegirl again for you, buddy. Cassie reacts. Jason edits for her, and I believe she's already started covering Mandalorian Season 2. Recently put up her reactions for Mandalorian Season 1, Joker movie reaction. You might have seen us mention that on our YouTube community page. She does a wonderful job. Great personality, some of the most genuine, sometimes really funny reactions. She gets so emotionally invested in everything she's watching, and her Mandalorian reactions, I saw a few of them for Season 1, are pretty great. So if you're a fan of The Mandalorian, I think you're gonna wanna go check out her channel. Jason edits for her, essentially the producer of the channel as well. So Jason, keep up the good work. Shouts out to Cassie as well. Hope you guys are doing okay. Talk to you guys soon.